Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels penned by one James Oliver Rigney Jr., also known as Robert Jordan, and then Brandon Sanderson came in to finish them. My name is Gus, and I've read all of them.
And I'm Allie, and I am a first-time reader on Book 11, Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. This podcast contains spoilers for everything that Allie has already read. And again, today, that's everything up to and including Knife of Dreams, Chapter 2. Allie.
Yes.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's a busy time of year.
In a lot of ways, yes.
In a lot of ways.
Holidays are coming up.
It's Halloween.
It's fellowship season. It's Halloween time.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's normally, if I'm remembering correctly, fellowship season normally is around May, but, you know, because of the strikes, it got pushed back. So now everyone's hurriedly getting their stuff together to apply to these fellowships. It's bonkers.
Yeah. So we're a little busy with all that. So thanks for your patience with everything. In other news, SAG and the AMPTP are back at the table. And don't believe anything you read in the trades, but you can still be optimistic that maybe things are going to be resolving sooner than later, which means we'll get to start releasing the other episodes that we may or may not have recorded some of already. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see.
We'll see.
Pay your actors. Anyway, Allie, how you doing? I already asked you that, didn't I?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. Guess what?
What?
We've got some people to thank.
Oh my gosh.
I truly don't understand what's happening, but we keep, I don't understand why you folks keep on giving us money. It's very kind of you. But I don't know what we did to merit this.
Don't get us wrong. We're very grateful.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
And we appreciate your efforts to help us pay for silly things like this podcast.
Yeah, it's great. I'm not complaining. I'm flattered. A couple of folks apparently
very grateful.
We missed a couple of bump ups during the
oh my gosh,
during the summer of weddings and whatnot. So our apologies and big thanks to David N for jumping up to a pint.
David N, just like a grateful bottle of Advil.
Ooh, okay.
You relieve pain just by being around. You are somebody who helps people through hard times, in small ways and sometimes in huge ways. You sound pleasant, and the pill bottle rattles and you're just like, oh, that's a pleasant sound. It is a pleasant sound. It's like a rattle, know?
Is.
You're pleasant sounding. You have a nice voice. And I think people probably tell you that a lot, that you have a nice voice. And you are someone who doesn't let labels define them and what they can do. You have limitless potential, and you also see that in others. And for that, we thank you, and thank you for being a member of this community.
And thanks to Maxwell S. for jumping up to a pint.
Maxwell S., just like a commendable naked mole rat. I've been learning about them recently in Ed Young's book, An Immense World.
You haven't mentioned that book at all ever on the podcast.
I am fascinated by it. I'm reading through it slowly because I accidentally am reading 7 books at the same time.
That's true.
It might be 8, because here's what I did real quickly. I like to read 2 books at the same time. That is something I enjoy. So I will be reading like a nonfiction book and a fiction book at the same time. Our dog is hunting a fly right now.
Yeah, there's a fly, and the dog has decided that the fly is, he's given up. No, he's back to it. Maxwell, I promise we're going to get back to you. I'm sorry.
I promise. You've been waiting so long and so patiently, but also it's mesmerizing watching this dog try to kill this fly.
Yeah, he's lost it now. So
yeah, okay. That was mesmerizing, baby. Good hunting.
He completely whiffed.
Your ancestors are wolves.
He totally missed.
It's okay.
It was very cute.
But so wait, what was I saying? Naked mole rat. So I'm learning that they are resistant to a lot of toxins, and just like that like acids and stuff that we would normally
very good,
be affected by, and we don't know quite why. There are a lot of theories, but we don't know quite why they're not affected by these acids and stuff.
Okay.
But just like that, you're toxic proof. You are somebody who does not put up with toxic behavior. You are not someone who exudes toxic behavior. You are someone who does not tolerate when other people are toxic about other people. And that is commendable and necessary. You're not afraid to dig deep when life gets hard. And if you're anything like Rufus in Kim Possible, you are also...
Oh, yeah, we can't talk about that. It's animation. Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And if you're anything like Rufus in Kim Possible, you are a champ at scarfing down those nachos. And for that, we thank you. What?
I like nachos, too. I haven't had nachos in a while. I miss nachos.
Yeah, you're a champ at scarfing down those nachos. It's a feat to behold.
It is.
And I find that impressive. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
And thanks for the pint, Matt V.
Oh, I never explained what's happening with my books. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
So I usually like to read a fiction and a nonfiction at the same time. I'm having this ADHD morning, apparently. But I like to read 2 books at the same time. But in addition to that, I'm reading 3 books for the podcast, right? So I'm reading Runes of Ombre for Hot Nuance Book Club, and then Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and The Wheel of Time for our podcast. So that's 5 books, right? Which I've managed at a pretty good speed. But then in addition to that, I also picked up another nonfiction book about a woman who teaches in North Korea in order to work on this dystopian comedy that I'm writing. And then in addition to that, and so I have to speed read through that because fellowship season.
Yes.
So that I can get this frickin' pilot together in time. And then I have my fiction book that I'm reading. I also like to, because I believe that the elite experience is downloading the audiobook with my Audible credits and then listening to it when I walk the dog or I'm in the car, and then I can also read it and then I read faster.
It's a very luxurious way to read.
It's a
luxury.
Reading.
It's a luxury.
It is elite reading because then I never really have to be away from the book if I'm at a really good point. You know, like I could but like I can still do my exercise and do my things that I need to do. So, but the book that I'm reading now is an advanced reader copy. So it does not yet have an audiobook. So I have an additional book that I needed to listen to in order to walk the dog and do the things that I need to do with my ADHD. So I'm reading at least 7 books right now.
I'm reading 1.
I'm trying to get back down to 5.
I don't know.
It's
I've
too
been
many books.
reading more slowly lately. I don't know why. But thanks for the pint, Matt V.
Matt V, just like a venerable...
You've done Venerable before.
I know I've done Venerable before.
You can repeat. That's fine. But I know sometimes you ask me, have I done this before? And you have done Venerable.
Dang it.
Like there are only so many words.
There are only so many words. And weirdly, I feel like at this point, it feels like there aren't as many positive words as there are negative words, which annoys me. Fine.
You can say Venerable. No. It's a good word.
Esteemable? Is that a word?
Esteemed is a word.
Esteemed. Thank you. And esteemed. I haven't done esteemed. No, I haven't done esteemed. Watch, someone was going to message me and go, you did do esteemed. But I don't think so. Esteemed Mustang.
Like the car?
No.
Like a horse. All right.
I don't think I've done a horse.
No, you haven't.
And I'm going with Mustang.
Robert Jordan has so many kinds of horses he talks about.
Because I feel like Mustangs are objectively the coolest horse.
I wouldn't know. I don't know shit about horses, despite Robert Jordan's best attempts.
Well, Mustangs invoke freedom. And just like that, you also invoke the sense of like liberty, freedom from, caring about the results or what people think and just enjoying the journey and the wind in your hair and the grass beneath your feet or hooves, as it were. Because you know in your heart that to be cringy is to be free.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, there's a wildness about you that makes us fascinated and makes us feel like, you have this unpredictability, but we also know there are lines you won't cross. You have the spontaneity to you, but you're not going to push us beyond our comfort zone or too far beyond our comfort zone. You're going to force people out of their comfort zone. You're going to gently and lovingly encourage them to explore their boundaries and, see what's possible. And you're powerful. And you know what? Even if you're somebody who is a little bit meeker of a person, it's because you have this inner power that makes it so that you don't feel like you have to be this big, showy ridiculousness. Because like, even if this stuff that I'm saying doesn't resonate with you as an outward person, like you do have limitless possibilities and you are somebody who can be free. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for jamming up to a cup of coffee, Robin J.
Robin J, just like a shimmering Viennese waltz. You are graceful. If you've ever seen someone Viennese waltz, it's one of the most beautiful dances in the world. Gus and I actually danced the Viennese waltz at our wedding.
Yeah, that was our wedding dance. Half of it.
Because for a while, the two of us did like amateur ballroom stuff, which was
for a long time.
Really fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I miss it.
Yeah, I do want to get back into that. Obviously we put that on a pause during the pandemic.
Yeah.
You are graceful. Even if that doesn't resonate with you as someone outward, you handle things gracefully. You are somebody who, can deal with rejection because you know that oftentimes rejection is protection. Mm-hmm. That's why I say to myself all the time in the arts, rejection is protection. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. And all you can do is continue to strive. And you know that in your bones. You are complicated, right? The Viennese waltz is a complex dance. That's why they don't usually teach it to first,
you got to
early
dance
levels.
For a minute
you have to dance for a minute, before they'll bust the Viennese waltz out on you. And by complicated, I don't see that as a negative. I see that as a person with a lot of layers and a lot to them. And I really love somebody who's like, I've got stuff going on. I've got a lot of interests. I'm living life a lot. And that's really great. You have a lot to say. You have a lot that you've experienced that you're willing to share. And you are romantic. You're somebody who loves the timeless, loves the idea of life. Maybe you even love a good little cry. That's so healthy of you. And that it's okay to love the mushy stuff. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
Hey, thanks for the bubbly Bethany C., who also mentioned in a very lovely, very sweet email that the adjective noun shoutouts are not her favorite thing.
And that's so okay. Bethany C. You don't have to get a compliment if you don't want it. I just always feel like some people do really need to hear something positive about themselves. And so we put that out into the world. But I also know that there are some people who are like, I cannot stand praise. So I have some family members like that. They just can't stand it. Versus me, who's like, if I don't get at least a little praise every now and then, I will wilt like the most delicate flower you've ever cared for in your life.
So, hey, thanks. You're great. And, we got your request for the special thing that your bubbly earns you. And, I'll do it eventually. I like it when it's a little bit of a surprise. So if the outro or intro is a little different from usual in the next couple episodes, you'll know why.
Thanks, Bethany C.
Thanks for the high five, Ricky E.
Ricky E. Just like a illustrious... That might be the first time I've used that.
I think that's a new one.
Yeah, illustrious Game Boy. Mm-hmm. You're classic. People love you. They know what to expect from you. You're classy. You are appreciated. And you're fun. Oh my gosh, you're fun. You hold all kinds of promise of fun. You're not afraid to suggest a great game. And you know your worth. And you're not afraid to ask for it. Mm-hmm. And that is such a skill nowadays. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the pint, Sarah M.
Sarah M, just like a multifaceted gobstopper. You're never ending in that you are tireless. You are pushing yourself all the time to be better, to be kinder, to be more thoughtful. And that is something that sometimes may go unnoticed, but it's not going unnoticed here. You are working your butt off all the time. And also know that it's okay to take a rest sometimes and let other people pick up that slack. Mm-hmm. That's all right. I'm learning that too. We're always learning. You are well-rounded. You've got a lot of interests and hobbies. You have a lot of things that you explore. And you're whimsical. You remind us of the need to be silly, the need to have fun. You remind us that we're really just all grown-up kids, aren't we? And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
And last but not least, thanks for the bubbly Richard F.
Richard F. Just like a fascinating corn on the cob.
Yum.
You're delicious. You're somebody who we just go, we have to savor all the time we spend with them because it's just a delight every time. When life gets you down, you just say, "Ah, shucks," and keep it going.
That's a pun and a half.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Your jokes might be a little corny. There you go. But they delight everyone who hears them, even if they elicit some groans. And for that, we thank you and thanks for being a part of this community.
So y'all are great. Thanks. Very kind of you. Very kind of you all. This is free, but very thoughtful. Very nice. Allie, here's the thing. Here's the long and the short of it. We forgot a thing last week. Galena can't channel into the oath rod to undo the thing. She needs somebody else to do it for her.
Right, I knew that.
Yeah, so that's why she couldn't just grab the oath rod or have someone grab the oath rod, I guess, during the battle.
I know she can't channel into it or grab it.
Yeah.
But what's to stop her from having someone else grab it?
Well, she wouldn't have anybody be able to use it to undo her thing.
Well, now she knows, though, that there are Aes Sedai with parents, which theoretically she does have someone there that can undo it.
Yeah, but it's kind of sketchy, I think, to go up to a bunch of Aes Sedai and be like, I don't really know. I'm not really sure.
Also, is it technically grabbing it if she has it in a bag?
Yes. She can't move it unless out of the tent, essentially.
But what if it's already out of the tent? Can't she then go around her oath a little bit?
I don't really
it's out of
know.
The tent, so technically,
I don't really remember 100% how this particular oath was worded. I should really look it up.
I'm sure that there is a way to game that oath.
Probably.
I'm positive that there is a way to game that oath.
Well, yeah, there tends to be. That's kind of the cornerstone of the oaths, right? Is they have loopholes.
She's already sent someone in there to look for it. Megan/Morghese went in there to look for it and was caught by Tharava and punished for it. So she's already done that.
Yes.
So clearly there's not a problem with her having someone do that.
Yes.
So my point still stands.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I don't know. Hey, where'd we leave off?
Galena being dumb.
Well, Egwene being not put to death.
Oh, yeah, but then, of course, we're putting her through spanking.
Yes, extensive spanking. And we're going to pick it up today. We're going to do chapters 1 and 2, back to the old grind of 1 and 2 chapters, with chapter 1, which is called When Last Sounds. When Last Sounds.
When Last Sounds?
Yes, that's the logo. What is it?
It's a dream ring.
It's the dream ring. What's the title a reference to? What's this title? What's going on here? What banger did Harriet come up with?
Wait, say it again.
When Last Sounds. I am being a little facetious. I do love the chapter titles like 99% of the time.
Yeah, I will die on the hill that there is a need for multiple leave takings.
Well, I mean, they're always apt.
I know. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the funnier things is being like another fucking leave
takings.
I don't know. I don't know what this is about.
This is when they're going to have the meeting with Egwene in the dream world. When Last Sounds. The last bell of the day.
Oh.
So this, respectfully, isn't my favorite chapter title.
How dare you?
Here's the thing.
How dare you?
Here's the thing.
Sir. Diss my girl Harriet.
The legend.
And her chapter titles.
Listen.
I will bite you.
This is not the most eventful chapter in the world.
Harriet did not get what do they call it? When an acknowledgement in every book for you to question her chapter naming.
This one isn't actually dedicated to her. It's in memory of Charles St. George Sinclair Adams.
Robert, you fickle.
Oh, wow. He was 20.
Boy.
He was 28.
Jesus.
God.
I take it back.
Ugh. How sad.
I take it back. I'm so sorry.
Allie, here's the thing.
That's horrible.
Do you have notes for chapter 1, When Last Sounds?
Yes, and I hate myself. Anyway, that'll teach me to speak ever. All right. Hold on, I have to recover from that for a minute. Fuck. Okay. Oops. It's a metaphorical wind, I see. So it like started off as a gentle thing and then like gained momentum. And I was like, I smell a metaphor. I love a good metaphor.
We are always a huge fan of metaphors.
And they can be deceptively difficult to write because it's hard to write them without being like, here's my thesis, but then also not doing it so subtly that people don't get that that's part of your thesis. Like I remember this one time I wrote this whole monologue that I thought was so smart in this play that I wrote. And so I wrote this play and I was like, this is the smartest thing I've ever written. This monologue really encapsulates the like essence of being a woman, la da 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 da. And my friend at the reading starts reading it and just starts like, she just looks at me and she goes, Allie, no. Because when it was said aloud, it was the cheesiest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, we've all been there. I've paused readings midway through before and gone, please skip the next page. It's awful.
You can do that?
You can do that. It's your script. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, my God.
If you're the one who wrote it, you can say, just skip this part, please, because I just reread it and I hate it.
Because now I realize it's the worst thing ever. And I wrote it at a time where I was like, this is brilliant. Brilliant. I'm like, no. I feel like the more you think your writing is brilliant, usually the worse it is when you hear it aloud.
It depends, but a lot of the time it feels that way.
Yeah. Swan and Gareth Bryn's relationship continuing its interesting ways.
Yeah, so this chapter is really listen. I like Knife of Dreams.
There are things you set me up to think that nothing happens in these two chapters.
Nothing happens in the first one.
Well, they call a meeting.
Well, no, Swan relays a message that a meeting has been called.
Well, okay, but they have a meeting to discuss. This is corporate.
And Romilda and Lelaine...
This is so Hollywood. They had a meeting to discuss having a meeting.
They had a planning meeting, and Romilda and Lelaine continue their machinations.
But that is the most Hollywood thing ever.
It is.
Is to have a meeting
to discuss having a meeting. It's also the most corporate thing ever.
Yes.
It's extraordinarily corporate.
It's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's silliness. We waste so much time. And I'm like, this could have been an email.
This chapter could have been an email.
Respectfully.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with establishing stuff.
Here's the thing,
There's nothing wrong with taking the time to remind us who and where and what we are, especially if it's been 2 years since the last book. That's fine.
I disagree that this chapter could have been an email because we are in a crisis. And he did pepper it with a bubble of evil.
Yeah, we didn't see it, though.
We didn't see the evil.
We saw the aftermath of the bubble of evil.
I would have liked to see the evil, the weevil.
Listen, I'm being a little overly harsh. I acknowledge that.
Yeah. You're mean today.
All right. I'm sorry.
Well, everyone's feelings are hurt. No, I'm just kidding. Right. Please share your feelings, even though they're mean. No, I'm just kidding. Right, because fixing hair is what's important here. Oh, somebody looks at her and is like, fix your hair before people think that you're
like everybody in the meeting.
A trollop or something like that. And I was like...
A troll, a tavern troll.
A tavern troll. First of all, classist. Second of all...
Yeah,
I just feel like when we're in a crisis, maybe the last thing we should be worrying about is what my hair looks like.
Somebody in the meeting is like, fix your hair before one of the soldiers thinks you're a tavern troll and tries to dandle you on his knee, I believe is the wording.
I hate that.
But as a reminder, this is a world where there's no such thing as gender inequality. Sorry. I'm an asshole today.
Well, as long as your hair looks good.
I guess.
God forbid a woman look a little disheveled when a crisis is happening.
It's not allowed.
No, we got to put on our full face first. Why the hell doesn't Egwene want them to rescue her? Does she realize that this now weakens her cause because they can use her as a hostage?
You know.
This is my big fear. / now I have a new fear after these 2 chapters that they're going to be like, show us everything you know.
Would she?
What?
Would she?
No, but like, I'm worried they're going to beat her a bunch.
I mean, Bayanin knows most of what she knows.
I know. Oh my God. Okay, here's the thing about Bayanin. Let's take a quick pause, a little TI for a second and say, here's the thing about Bayanin. Because I realized partway through that she was the lady who was like, let's talk peace negotiations. And I was like, what a waste of time.
Yes.
And there was a part of me when I was reading it, and I have no proof at all that I thought this, but I was like, are you just like doing this all because you know it's a waste of time and you're a mole? Or are you just dumb? But then I thought to myself, no, this is the most obvious mole that could ever mole. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fairly transparent.
It's so transparent that I thought that can't possibly be what's happening, right? I got Leandrined once again. Because I thought that can't possibly be what's happening. It must be more complex than that. And also I was scolding myself. I was scolding myself because I'm like, with everything that's going on in the world, can you really begrudge someone who wants people to like not kill each other? Can you really begrudge someone that? You are just being so warmongery right now. And maybe Robert Jordan has like a greater thing to say about the nature of peace. And you're just being like a violent warmonger. And then she's a mole.
Yeah.
So I overthought it.
Well, you know, that happens sometimes.
I have no proof that this thought had ever crossed my mind because I shamed myself for even thinking it. Because
we've all been there. We've all done it.
I was like, how dare you like be so vehemently suspicious of someone and also annoyed with Egwene for not wanting to attack when like, you know, wouldn't it be nice if we could come to a peaceful solution to the world's ills?
It would be. However, I will say I understand your frustration because we have books 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of lead up here being, you know, we're gathering an army, we're getting ready to go, we're going to march, we're going to do a siege. And now the summation of this appears to be, well, let's just see what happens. So I understand your frustration, especially considering the fact that this is a book, that you're like, why did we do all of this build up and set up if we're just gonna not
have a peace negotiation?
Which again, obviously the better solution is to just negotiate it out. However, I understand your frustration with, you know, books and books and books of lead up, depending on where this goes. Obviously, I don't want, you know, sisters fighting sisters. That's not good because both of these groups are fairly chill individually, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think my thing is that.
And I also understand that they need the army as like deterrent, essentially.
Yeah. I think also my thing is that the boys have like done a lot of war things and the women, even the women who are warrior women, are being told to like not come.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
There's a lot of that. So I'm like, okay, so the one time that like all the women are like, we got to do a war against someone who objectively sucks. I mean, she sucks. She's a sucky normal, but she sucks.
Oh, Elida sucks, and she's doing terrible damage to the reputation of the tower, and Alviarin is making it worse, and yeah, she's a little bit of a puppet, yes, but, you know, she still sucks.
I also think this is the problem with putting someone in a position of power for their entire lives.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of accountability there.
Yeah. Do you have more notes?
Yeah, I do, but, you know, so... I guess that's what my issue is with that. I mean, we're going to talk about this regardless, so we might as well talk about it here. Okay, what my thought is. Sure, is that I am going... So I think I was a little like, oh, come on. Rand's fought like 45 battles at this point.
That's true. Rand has not had any qualms about killing people and having wars happen. And
but here's the opposite end of that, is that I do think that the thesis of this is not, war.
No, definitely not. Absolutely,
you know, I think there is a lot of like exploration of the consequences of war
and the horrors of war and all that.
Yeah, I just sort of, But anyway, then I scolded myself for being suspicious of this woman for just wanting peace.
Well, I think
and then I overthought it.
Another part of it is that we had many of those intervening books being very black and white lead up of, we got to go, you know, fix this rift. And now, after a lot of momentum kind of pushing for this to be a conflict, we're going, actually, there's shades of gray. So it's a little bit, you get a little bit of whiplash, right? Being forced to kind of look at this as a situation that is like, this is stupid. This was stupid in the first place. We shouldn't have done this in the first place. How do we resolve this?
Well, it just kind of feels like if this is to be resolved, okay.
Because you had a theory on how this gets resolved.
My theory is that the Ch1-2 come and attack, and Egwene becomes like, somehow saves everyone, and then as like a thank you, they put her in charge of the White Tower.
Sure.
Or, you know, Elida gets captured. I mean, Carlenia definitely gets captured because she had the two ravens on her, right? Like a tattoo.
But you thought that she was a dark friend, but now you're kind of reverting to...
Well, I mentioned at the time, I said
could be the
ravens could be Ch1-2, but I kind of want it to be dark friendery because...
That was more interesting at the time.
Well, because then it would be hilarious because I met Carlina and immediately went, her name's different than the others, so she's the dark friend. And then I'm right.
That would be funny.
Would be hilarious. But I think I'm wrong in that she just gets captured by the Ch1-2 and maybe Elida does too.
So if that's what
so that we
goes
don't have
down,
to kill women.
You brought this up. Did you have a sort of a how you would feel about that or
complicated? I hope that Egwene has a lot of agency in that moment, and it's not just like, well, you're here, so we're just going to slap you on the throne since Elida's now indisposed.
Sure.
You know, like I hope it's because she really badasses her way through that experience. But it is a little frustrating because it does feel like it takes some of the agency and responsibility away from her. Like, it's like, we don't want women to have to deal with the grief of what war would be. So, which is complicated because I'm like, I don't necessarily like war.
No, of course not.
I just kind of go, well, if we're going to go there to then be like, but we don't want the women to go there. I just kind of go, what's going on? Do you know it's the pattern of it?
Yeah.
That makes me kind of go, even with the women who are powerful, like the Maidens of the Spear, like Dira, Bashir, Egwene, it just kind of feels like we're taking their agency away and going like, oh, but they got attacked, but they saved themselves. But there's no like, we are forwarding the plots and taking our fate in our hands. And, you know, if it did turn out that it was like Egwene just really was a good diplomat and managed to manipulate the situation in her favor, it would be a little bit anticlimactic, but it would feel like, okay, well, she did kind of spearhead this, but she isn't spearheading that. She's kind of leaving that in Bayanin's hands, and Bayanin is a mole. So she misjudged to put in that place, which is fine. Women don't have to be perfect.
No.
They don't have to be doing all the right things. Obviously, we want nuanced characters. I'm just like, I feel like the responsibility and agency that we're giving the boys maybe is not, we're being reluctant to give the girls, or we're not kind of examining the consequences of the traumas that are happening to the girls. So it's like, I love it. I love the books. Lest I be accused of not loving the books. I do. I talk for hours about them.
If we didn't like the books, we would not do the podcast.
Right.
We like the books.
But yeah, I feel like it will depend for me on how it goes.
Well, it kind of ties in also with some other stuff we've brought up before, which is that very regularly men fail upward into involuntary positions of power. I mean, even in this book so far, Galad accidentally became Lord Captain Commander, even though he doesn't want to be Lord Captain Commander, right?
Right. And the women are really having to work on getting people to trust them. Yeah,
Egwene and Elaine's entire plots the past few books have been clawing for an inch of power.
Which, listen, is that relatable?
Yeah, it's highly relatable.
On a societal level. But is it gender equality as a world?
That's the reason why it's worth noting, is because what is offered essentially is it's a book with gender parity, but it has a lot of, we've talked about this before, I know, but it reflects a lot of the struggles and biases that exist in our world, which does not have gender parity.
Well, like I've talked about this with other podcasts with male and female hosts. The women get disproportionately targeted in hate comments, right? Like, but we live in a world where obviously there is a lot of oppression toward women, right? So, when we started this podcast, I went, okay, but know that like I will get disproportionately more hate than you.
Right.
And we'll just have to like figure out how to deal with that. So yeah, but I just kind of go, okay, but if we're creating this society where women are the powerhouses and men are not, or a more egalitarian society, it feels like there are just like little societal biases that I don't necessarily blame the author for, but they peek through and I think they're worth commenting on, because it's like, well, I don't know if this makes for a gender egalitarian society.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. On that note, we are pretty overdue for ads, so we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
We're back with notes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. But I am worried about Elida using Egwene as a hostage.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd be worried about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. Oh, this is my next note. Oh, my God. We're just going to have the Seanchan randomly attack, aren't we? And then that's going to resolve this plot somehow because Egwene, I don't want to use my army to fight. Alvir is going to save them. Probably.
You're going to have to read
Slash Elida gets captured by the Seanchan. So they're like, well, we're down in Amyrl-In, so we might as well just put you in charge because that will unite everybody again.
2 birds, 1 scone.
Yeah. Elida can't do away with an Aja. Somebody said that in this meeting. And I said, I'm going to need these people to understand that we are not dealing with normal times and normal circumstances freaking quickly. And that Elida is unpredictable.
She's unwell.
Yeah. What is that? There's some kind of like theory that some people have about if you are in a leadership position, act as unpredictably as possible. Because then people will be afraid to cross you in any way because they don't know how you're going to respond.
Yeah.
Like you could respond wildly at any moment. And so it's just, you're always on guard.
What is it called?
I can't remember.
I don't remember what, I can't find it. I can't get right keywords to look it up correctly. But yeah, it's kind of the idea that if you act unpredictably, people will be less likely to behave in such a way that as that they assume that they can influence your decisions and they'll leave you alone. Right.
I feel like she's utilizing that a bit.
Could be. Or maybe she's just genuinely irrational.
Oh, she is genuinely irrational.
Yeah.
I'm more commenting on what it does to other people.
Sure.
To have an irrational leader. I hate her.
Elida?
So much.
Oh, yeah, she's the worst.
But I also,
it's funny because
I'm just like sorry for her because she's just so deluded.
It's funny because in Crown of Swords, you felt bad for her for a minute there because of the hubris clock and Alviarin, but now she's kind of stomped Alviarin somehow. And because Alviarin went on a vacation off page and we don't know where she went to, but I guess in that time period, Elida was like, well, you know what? I'm back on top, baby. But
I feel like the vacation has got to matter to some extent, right? Otherwise, we're just hand waving Alviarin away and are like, oh, well, we just dealt with the problem. Though I guess, you know what, that could happen. There's a lot of plots.
There are a lot of plots.
And I could see a world in which he might forget about some of them.
There are a lot of them.
I could see a world in which that happens. Or we drop a plot line for a shinier toy.
Robert Jordan? Dropping a plot or a character because he doesn't want to talk about them anymore?
Listen, I, as an ADHD woman, am no one to talk about dropping something for a shinier thing. I am no one to talk. I am a nightmare as a writer sometimes. Sometimes. I've learned tools. So Carlinia definitely gets taken by the Seanchan. Oh, that's a note. That's why there were ravens when men looked at her. But tell me again how the Seanchan aren't that bad, please. Swan doesn't understand why Elida isn't going to do anything to Egwene. Speaking for the readers here. But I do get it actually now. Because she heard that Egwene can... Because here's why I didn't get it at first. Because you went, well, she can... If she kills her, she's a martyr. And this makes her seem like she's like not worthy of notice. But the last time we were in Elida's head, she was very team kill Egwene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She thought to herself, okay, I'll accept the others back, make them choose different Ajas and beat the hell out of them. Unfortunately, the Egwene girl has to die. That's what she thought in her head.
Right.
And then she didn't kill her all of a sudden, and we were not in her head. So I went, why? And I know you rationalized it really well, and we had a rational reason for it, but Elida's not rational. Which is why I was confused by it, because I was like, this feels rationally out of character.
Yeah. She's behaving too rationally.
Yes. And so I was suspicious of that because I just didn't make sense. And then we got in Elida's head and she said, I'm keeping her alive so that she can teach us all that stuff she knows, which is worrisome considering that Bayanin is now teaching her all the stuff she knows. But, stands to reason Egwene might know more.
Probably, yeah. That
she hasn't taught people. Or if Egwene knows what's good for her, she should fib that she does.
I know. Go ahead.
I guess... Oh, no, she can fib. She hasn't taken the oath yet.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to. She's pretending she's taken the oath, remember? Yes, you're shaking your head and closing your eyes and breathing deeply.
Yeah, well, there's a way you can infer, though, without lying. You can imply without lying.
Yeah.
Damn, I guess you snooze, you lose, Ramonda. Because Lillian said to
yeah, we're keeping that
Swan,
shit going.
If Egwene dies or is stilled, which now makes it worrisome because it's like, well, now they don't have like a huge... She doesn't have a huge pull to keep Egwene alive, really.
Who doesn't?
Lillian.
Yeah, but Lillian can't do jack shit. Like, again,
that's true.
I know a lot of people like Ramonda and Lillian and all their stuff, and that's great. I couldn't tell you the first thing that differentiates the two of them.
That is the thing. I don't know why. I don't know who I would want to win.
Yeah,
and
which is okay.
It's okay if they have... If they're both bad or they're both good and it's just kind of them. Well, I mean, I think they would be both bad in different ways, but I want to know which one I would personally want to win.
Well, to me, it just feels like they're fighting over what color the deck chairs on the Titanic should be. Whenever they start getting into their like back and forths about who should be in charge, I'm like, well, either way, this ship's gonna sink. So why do I care?
Oh yeah, the Shan-Chan are attacking soon. And here's the thing that was funny too, and we'll get there, obviously. These notes are taking so long because I have to talk about what I've learned. But Elida thinks to herself, well, we're fine as long as the Shan-Chan don't learn how to travel. Here's the problem, though.
They also have an air force.
That, too. Here's the problem also, though. Didn't they at the Bowl of Winds, the Winds incident, see
the
Weaves?
No, because Elaine unpicked it. You remember when Elaine accidentally made a tactical nuclear device?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was unweaving the gateway so that they couldn't copy it.
Ah, good. Good girl. Very smart. Okay. I just wanted to clarify that. But now I go, okay, well, the fact that she thought to herself, well, as long as they can't travel, it's fine.
Oh, yeah,
First
no,
of
that's
all,
ominous.
The imagery that makes me nervous is the ravens fly by the tower.
They do.
And wobble it.
Yeah.
They fly.
Yeah, and they do have an air force.
And I know that's what ravens do, but they weren't sitting on the tower.
No.
They weren't pecking the tower.
They flew by,
they
crashed into it.
Walking by the tower.
And made it wobble about.
Yeah, Elida.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, Allie. Now, I suggested to you that we skip this next part because people were concerned that you hated this and that it was torturous for you, and you insisted that we continue it.
I did.
You did insist that this go on. However, I will stop being quite so pedantic about it.
I would appreciate it.
Allie.
Yes.
It's the beginning of a Wheel of Time book. How's it go?
The Wheel of Time turns.
Yes.
Leaving memories to become legend.
Now, you skipped a little bit, but that's okay. You skipped a sentence and you changed a couple words.
Wait. The Wheel of Time turns and ages come and pass.
Nailed it.
Leaving memories to become legend.
Close enough. Very close.
Leaving legend. Oh, legend fades into myth.
Very, very close.
What is it?
Legend fades to myth.
Legend fades to myth. And even myth becomes history?
No, not so much.
Even myth becomes... What's bigger than myth?
Even myth is long...
Is long forgotten.
Yes.
When the Wheel of Time No. Even myth is long forgotten when the...
What are the things that are coming and passing?
Ages...
When the age that
I did really well in the beginning.
You did.
I
was really
proud of me.
Yeah.
Actually, considering last book, it was really not good. Even myth is long forgotten when the age that comes
gave it.
When the age that gave it birth, right?
Yes.
Comes. What is it?
Again.
Comes again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This age.
No.
It's not this age called the first age?
No, it's in one age.
In one age, the first age?
No.
The fourth age.
No.
The third age,
yep.
Obviously. Called the third age by some.
Yes.
And then the wind.
No, there's one other thing first. Ages come and pass, so this is an age...
An age long past, an age yet to come, when the Wheel of Time
you flipped
turns.
Them, but yeah.
Oh, wait. An age to come, an age long past.
Close enough.
What is it?
An age yet to come, an age long past.
Didn't I say that?
You said an age to come.
Oh.
It's fine.
Whatever.
It's fine. It's close enough.
When the wheel of time turns...
There's none of that.
Did I make that up?
Yes.
Okay, well, whatever. What is it? What's the end?
A wind, blah, blah, blah.
Let me look at it.
There are neither beginnings nor endings to the turning of the wheel of time, but it was a beginning.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. But you're getting very good at this.
I am. Who knows what'll happen by the last
Anything
book.
could happen in the lightning round. Where's the wind from this time?
Oh, I think this was the bubble of evil.
Yeah, the wind is the bubble of evil.
Yeah. And it's a metaphor. It starts as a zephyr in like the hills or something like that, right?
Above Dragon Mount.
Above Dragon, that's it.
Which is why it smells like ash and sulfur.
Right. And sulfur always is associated with the devil.
Yes.
So then it gains all this speed.
Yeah.
When it goes down the mountain, which I go, that's got to be a visual metaphor.
Seems like it, yes.
So it goes down the mountain, gains all the speed, and then basically kills people.
Yeah, like totally fucks
people,
up the camp.
Fucks people up.
It's a big one. It just knocks shit over. Some people die. Some people get hurt. It's bananas. Absolutely fucking bananas. And then Swan wakes up and she's like, damn, what the fuck was that? Smells like shit.
So really, it's just Dragon Mount had a little fart.
Had a little toot.
Yeah.
Is this the wind? Is this the terrible smell that Eamon Valda smelled all the way over in wherever the fuck he was in the prologue?
I think that was just himself.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
You know, I do think that sometimes when you really suck as a person on the inside, it does start to manifest on the outside.
You just are the worst?
Yeah. You just
exude
suck.
evil.
You just exude shit. But at the same time, I go, we also need to remember that just because somemeone's hot does not mean they're good.
No, that's not a thing. The correlation,
but
good
also
beauty,
just
hot, ugly, or evil, ugly. No.
Hot doesn't
very
mean
outdated.
they're bad either.
Yes,
that's all the complexities.
So Swan wakes up. She's like, damn, crazy wind out here. This is some shit. And she gets out of bed and she's like, anyway, I was having a terrible night before I went to bed because we found this boat and it was all fucked up. And we were like, damn, she's dead as hell. But she's not.
No.
We nailed it. She's not dead as hell at all.
Yeah, but
and now I know she's not dead as hell.
We did get her captured.
We did get her captured, so that's a shame.
We probably should have seen that coming a little.
And then there's like...
But I'm glad Bode got away.
Yeah, Bode got away. Then there's like 5 or 6 pages of Gareth Bryn stuff.
Okay.
Can you walk us through that? Because first she's like... first of all, I will say... There's a lot of establishing of the camp is in chaos, the camp is in turmoil, they're not sure how to proceed because they think Egwene died. It's very thematic, it's very atmospheric, it's very well done. And then she kind of spends like 6 pages thinking about Gareth Bryn in different ways.
Yeah. She has to like polish his boots.
Yeah.
And then she thinks about putting the gross stuff from his boots in his bed.
Well, she's mad because he polished his own boots, right?
No, she took black stuff off and then made it into a little ball.
Black stuff is the polish.
Oh.
Yeah, he polished his own boots and she's pissed off about it.
Why?
Because that's her job, goddammit.
No. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree. Listen, women contain multitudes. There's many of us and we all have myriad experiences and myriad wants. And so I cannot pretend to speak for all women, but I just can't imagine walking in and seeing someone has done a chore for me and thinking, that's my job. I wanted to do that.
For a moment,
I would like to lay.
For a moment, she stared at Gareth's second pair of boots standing at the foot of his bedding. As she had thought, freshly blacked, the bloody man insisted she work off her debt, then sneaked in behind her back, or worse, under her nose while she slept, and blacked his own bloody boots.
Well, because it's weird, because he has a crush on you.
Gareth Bloody Bryn treated her like a maid-servant, never so much as tried to kiss her. She jerked upright, her mouth going taut as a mooring rope. Now, where had that thought come from?
Okay, so here's the thing, Swan. The power dynamic between the two of you is bad.
No matter what Egwene claimed, she was not in love with Gareth Bloody Bryn.
She
was not Gary Bryn. She had too much work in front of her to get caught in that kind of foolishness.
Now I'm just picturing Gary from
a certain
something.
Show. Yeah.
A certain Gary Gergich. Gary Bryn Gergich. And now I do want Swan to end up with him.
Yeah,
I love Gary.
So she
like their little, I'm not talking about it, but their little happy family scene. I was like, this looks idyllic.
We can't do that.
I know.
We can't do that.
But he's so happy.
Anyway, yeah. Any more thoughts on the whole Gareth Swan thing?
Okay, their power dynamic is weird because she's serving him. And so he's technically her boss. And I'm not very for boss-employee relationships. I know it happens. And there are ways where it can be not problematic. There are also ways where it could be extremely problematic because the power dynamic is really bad. Mm-hmm. Much like any imbalanced power dynamic in a relationship, I'm always a little proceed with caution. Mm-hmm. I feel like he is trying to make it unproblematic. Like he's somehow aware maybe that her serving him while he has a crush on her. And
she has a crush on him.
Clearly has a crush on him, which I'm a Soirain fan, so I don't know if I agree. But Robert can do what he wants with his characters. But yeah, I think he maybe is aware that it's a little weird.
It seems like he's trying to give them more of an egalitarian relationship, and she's like so deeply in denial about the whole thing.
She wants so badly to be a trad wife right now, and I don't understand it.
I don't think that's it. I think she's deeply in denial about the whole thing and is like adamant that they stick to this so that she doesn't have to confront any of her feelings towards him. I'm not saying I love this.
No, I get why it's happening. I get why it's happening. I feel like he's aware that it's a weird dynamic that they have, and he's trying to not have that dynamic as much. And but still trying to maybe preserve her honor.
Something like that. It's a whole thing.
But regardless, it is a weird power dynamic in this relationship that I think needs to be navigated a little carefully.
Yes. And we're actually going to take a quick break now that she's leaving his tent for some ads. Welcome back. She leaves Gareth Bryn's tent. She's like, why did I even go there last night? That was odd of me. I should have gone to my own tents. Okay. And she finds this guy and is like, give me a horse, you shit face. And he's like, who are you? You just some lady? Fuck you. And she's like, I'm a nice to die. Give me a horse.
Well, he says fuck you because he's like, there are people dying in the streets. Yeah. And I'm kind of focused on that.
Oh, she heals people first. She helps out.
Yes, which was good of her.
Or she wants to help out. She would help out. She doesn't because she's like, wait, I have to let them know Egwene's not dead before everybody starts disbanding, which is fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So she goes to a guy and she goes, give me a horse. And he goes, you want to go riding right now? Because he thinks she's some wife.
Yeah, or a seamstress or just like a random person.
Yeah, which offends her. But I go, honey, he doesn't know the face of every Aes Sedai, and you don't have the ageless face.
You lost the ageless face.
And so then she shows him the ring. I don't know. I think she maybe could have been a little more gracious about it, considering the fact that there is a crisis where people are dying going on. But, you know, who am I to tone police somebody?
Because, like, it flies through. We kind of see it.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, we see it.
That was unfair of us to say.
You know what? I'm a jerk.
We just don't really see we see, like, it coming and the aftermath, but we don't really see the whole experience of it.
I mean, admittedly, it is basically an earthquake, but like a windquake.
Like a hurricane or a tornado.
Yeah.
Tornado? Maybe?
More like a tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like a very farty tornado. So she gets this horse, Night Lily, and you know, Swan hates horses. And that's always fun.
Can't relate. I love animals.
And she rides to there's a lot of detail about horses and about the camp and everything else, and it's all very fun. And then she gets to Shiriam's tent. She busts in. Myrell is there, the mushroom herself. And
I hate her.
Yeah, you know, there's several pages of her looking at people and thinking about stuff and thinking about warders. And Carlinia's in there, and they chat for a minute, and Morvrin is like, fix your hair before somebody like smacks your ass like a drum.
I can't.
And
Morvin's a dark friend.
Swan goes, Egwene and Lyanna are alive and prisoners inside the tower. Egwene spoke to me in my dreams. They succeeded in blocking the harbors near enough, but they were captured. We were abandoning. So, she's like, I don't want to say that. I want to repeat myself. We got to fucking get this shit dealt with. Come on. Let's figure out how we're going to move on from this. What's next? What are we going to do?
Yeah.
And Sheriam has a very rational suggestion. And in fact, it's a suggestion you made to Perrin.
Yeah. She goes, we'll just gateway in, grab her.
Yep.
Gateway out.
Yeah, pop in, pop out. It's easy as shit. What a dumbass thing they just did. And Siuan is like, no go on that one. Egwene said that would be advancing the plot too much, or in fact, reverting the plot. It's one or the other, and she's not sure which, and she doesn't want to take that risk.
And I'm going for $45.
So we're not going to do that. Fuck all that noise. And apparently they're not going to cut her head off either. So, hey, you know what? She's just going to hang out in there and have a good time. And they're like, Carlinia says, what you're saying is irrational. If we capture Elida, we will try her and very likely still her. Since she has Egwene, surely she will do the same. I don't need Bayanin to tell me what the law says in that regard. And Sheriam is like, this is stupid. This is stupid. Why are we not rescuing her? This is dumb as fuck.
It is dumb as fuck. They should be rescuing her. I agree with that. Egwene's trying to change the system from the inside. No, girl.
So any thoughts on this whole conversation?
She's like, I'm part of a toxic nonprofit and I can fix it from the inside. And I go, honey, if you are part of a toxic nonprofit, you cannot fix it.
Any thoughts on this whole meeting? This planning meeting?
Much love to nonprofits, just not all of them.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Any thoughts on this whole planning meeting?
Whole planning meeting. I mean, it's kind of Siuan just going, I was in the dream. I talked to Egwene. She said to do this.
Yeah.
To just leave it.
And we're going to have a dream meeting with her tonight.
In the tower. And they kind of get a little thrill at the idea of having a meeting in the tower under Elida's nose.
Yeah.
Even though it's in the dream.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but that is a little thrilling. It is a little bit of an FU to Elida. And so they're like, ooh, well played, Egwene. And so, that's great. So they can kind of talk about matters and figure out what to do with this new little obstacle. And then Lelaine says to all of them, all right, we're going to do this and I'm going to keep everyone together. But in exchange, that means that if anything does happen to Egwene, which would be so tragic, you all support me as Amyrl.
Not quite.
Over Ramonda.
Not quite. She doesn't say this to the whole crew. She comes in and is like, what's up, everybody? Hey, what are we here talking about? And Sheriam catches her up to speed and she goes, oh, cool. Hey, Siuan, come here. Walk with me a minute.
Yes. And that's when she says it.
Yeah, she takes Siuan aside. Why does she have leverage over Siuan?
Because she knows that Siuan has the ring, right?
No, although Siuan is cagey about the dream ring.
Yeah, because she knows that if they know she has
They'd probably take it.
They would take it.
Oh, I dropped a metal bookmark, and the dog freaked out.
It freaked me out, too. It's okay.
Remember Fail Girl?
Yeah, Faelaine.
It's because of Faelaine.
Oh, right. Faelaine kind of told Lelaine
everything.
Because
Lelaine was like, hey, girl, Faelaine, Lelaine, we're basically twinsies. Let's spill all our secrets to each other.
I have had it up to here with the secret spilling.
Because I've had enough of this, dude.
I have had it up to here. Our secrets, does the pinky swear mean nothing to these people?
She basically, corners her into it.
Does girl code mean nothing?
So what secrets are these that Faelaine has spilled?
That Siuan and Lyanna don't hate each other, right?
Probably, yeah.
And that they're working with Egwene.
And that a bunch of people swore fealty to Egwene.
Right.
And that's kind of sketchy and weird. So Lelaine is like, anyway, I know that all y'all did that. So if Egwene does die, oh boo-hoo, wouldn't it be a shame?
Such a shame.
Then I'll keep that secret in exchange for y'all supporting me over, the other person, Ramonda, who is functionally indistinguishable from me to the outside reader. I'm being overly critical as a joke.
Yeah, I mean, Ramonda snoozed and Ramonda loosed.
I guess. Loosed?
I had to write.
I like it. You know what? I'll take it.
Either that or it's Ramonda snost, so Ramonda lost.
I think I like snost more, but
I do like snost.
But it's the wrong setup.
You snost, you lost.
Yeah. Although Lelaine does say, refusing rescue is understandable, of course. is understandable, I suppose, even laudable. No one wants any more dead sisters, but very risky. No trial, and not even a birching? What could Elida be playing at? Can she think to make her take up as accepted again? That hardly seems likely. And it's like, well, actually, he's going to make her be a novice, but, you know.
Because humiliation.
So they're like, hey, yeah, we're going to have a meeting. You're going to come, right? And Elena's like, yeah, because she's still alive, so for sure I'll come. But, you know, hey, if this shit goes tits up, you belong to me. I forgot where the button is. That was the one.
Elida was to Egwene, it's like, you are Amyrl-In, the novice book. Am I right? That was so dumb.
That was good. That was great. I want to make that the episode title.
Amyrl-In, the novice book.
But I'm not gonna.
Why?
Because, I can. I might. Maybe I will. Maybe I did. I could. Maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
Maybe I did. Well, they know. Anyway, that's the end of chapter 1. Chapter 2, Allie, The Dark One's Touch. This is the chapter logo. What is it?
The Dark One's Touch?
Yep.
Harriet.
That's the logo. What's that?
Dark One's Touch.
What's this here?
It's a tear. It's an
It's the yep.
You good?
No, I'm great.
Nah, I'm great.
Yeah, I'm not good. I'm great. I'm doing great today.
Chapter 2. Guys.
Yes.
Bayanin.
Oh.
I vaguely remember who this is and where she is. LOL. I couldn't remember if she was I knew she was an Aes Sedai. I couldn't remember immediately if she was with the Saladar group or Rand's group. There's a lot of Aes Sedai walking around.
A lot of Aes Sedai.
I was like, I think it's one of those two. I know there's a B name in each group. There's a Bayanin and a B.
No?
I think so.
I don't...
I swear there's a
Basran somewhere, but I don't think that's an Aes Sedai.
There's definitely a B in Rand's group. There's gotta be...
Basan as a warder. Okay. Basram, that's another guy. Nah, whatever. You know what? Please continue.
I swear to God. Okay. Someone find it. This man's name is Evan.
Yes, it is literally Evan.
It's spelled Ehvin. Evan.
Yeah.
The millennial bullshit names continue. Small courtesies were the lubricant of everyday life. Okay, now someone's going to...
Oh, Bira. It was Bira.
There we go. I knew there was another one. Someone's going to message now and be like, actually, that spelling of Evan is sacred.
And there's Beldine, too.
And part of a culture.
This is always what happens. This is always what happens.
Which is why I just got to stop shitting on names.
Anytime we pick a name that we think is fake and make a joke about it, somebody tells us that actually it's a real name.
It's mine, actually.
Yeah.
And it's sacred. And
we're the fucking worst. And you know what? You're right. Sorry. It keeps happening every fucking time.
I suck. Anyway, continuing. Small courtesies were the lubricant of everyday life. This is a quote.
Great.
And I said, okay, I agree with the sentiment, but we're really going with lubricant?
You goddamn know it.
Okay. Small courtesies were the lubricant of everyday life. So small courtesies are the lubricant and everyday life is the strap-on. Do you know what I mean?
Feels like that sometimes.
That's kind of how the sentiment works, though, right? What is it a lubricant for?
That ain't wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm just saying. So this woman is in the middle of completing the 100 strokes.
Oh, God, yeah. We love the 100 strokes with her left hand.
It's the return of the 100 strokes.
The classic line.
So real talk.
One of the funnier things that's ever happened in these books. It was not intended to be funny.
Finished the 100 strokes.
Just opening the chapter with Elaine finished the 100 strokes with her left hand.
Oh, my God. So real talk. I've only ever heard of people brushing their hair that much in Little House of the Prairie. I just don't see the point in that other than breakage.
They couldn't bathe, right?
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, they weren't bathing as much, and they had long hair.
I feel like in Randland, they are bathing regularly. I believe in my soul that if I am witnessing something that happens in like medieval times visually, that they are bathing regularly. I cannot accept.
Oh, I totally understand that.
The filth.
Yeah.
At least the main characters who I'm reading for bathe at least once a week, if not more, because ew. But there is a point where after a certain point, your hair can't get less untangled. It's just done being untangled.
Yeah.
And that takes about, for me, like 7.
Maybe they're making sure there's not any bugs in there too.
I mean, the bubbles of weevil.
There's weevils in this very chapter. You know what else there are in this chapter? Ghosts.
Ghosts.
It's never not going to be funny to me.
Does tea spoil? Because you were talking about the tea tasting like it's a little spoiled.
You know what?
Is tea capable of spoiling?
In this apocalypse, anything is possible.
I mean,
if by anything you mean food is going bad more quickly. Because
I would assume maybe it gets weaker.
I don't know. I imagine, it's dried leaves, right? Like
right.
it could get foul maybe.
But
if it gets wet, it could get moldy maybe.
Well, moldy I could see.
Yeah.
But if it's like continuously wet, because there's dead things in it. But I swear to God, I've had teas that have been in my cabinet, and maybe this is just me being disgusting and I'm learning something new today, but I swear to God, I've had teas that I have consumed that I have had in my cabinet for years.
Yeah, but you also have teas that are individually wrapped and factory sealed.
That is true.
Right? You get a tea bag. You get a tea bag. You break open the sealed pouch that the tea bag is in. That tea bag has not been touching anything outside of its pouch since it was put in there. That's as opposed to having like a jar of loose leaves
and kept in a like dry place.
Yeah.
In a box. You know what?
Yeah.
You're
as
right.
opposed to like you have a pottery jar and it's full of tea leaves and sometimes it rains and sometimes it gets wet.
And they're on the road. And it's winter time.
And it was winter. And by the way,
there's bubbles of weevil.
I skipped this, but in the prologue, they spend a lot of time, not in chapter 1, they spend a lot of time talking about how the snow is melting and that it's basically spring now.
Oh, so it's like wet and slushy on top of everything
gross.
Else.
So, hey.
That's a quick winter.
We fixed the weather. Well, yeah, but because the winter came late. The winter started in January.
But that's not usually good, though, having a short winter, right? Because there's the water.
Right. That's kind of the whole reason that the Dark One was fucking with the weather was they were like, well, if there's no winter and it's just summer,
they'll starve.
They're not going to be able to do crops.
It's true. We're already seeing the consequences of that.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Bayanin. The Tower's rules about who can be novices are dumb.
Is she in favor of this?
Yeah, she goes, wow, what a waste.
I missed that.
Because she was walking around the Saladar group and going, there's middle-aged people here, there's old people here, but they're really talented and good at stuff. Maybe we were really short-sighted in only accepting a very small group of people. And she went, and they're adapting to life as novices, like eagerly and well, and they're excited to be there, even if they are older, and they're picking things up very quickly. Maybe we've really missed out on a lot of potential talent by being so stringent in our rules. And I said, thank you. Yes, I have been saying that forever. Also, before that, though, I said, I'm feeling like Halima might kill Bayanin. Because Bayanin is really looking into the women and the warder that have died. And she's made it known that she is investigating this, which she should, because someone should be, because it's Anaya, a warder, and this other gal. I can't remember the other gal, but they all got killed. And I go, well, we know what Halima does when she thinks that someone's a threat to her, to expose her. We wait 3 to 5 books and then kill them. So in 3 to 5 books, Bayanin's toast.
We'll give it we'll see.
Okay, if this is a name somewhere, I do apologize. I've never seen it before. And it was just, I looked at it and went, I skipped the name every time because it stressed me out to think about trying to pronounce it. Ashmanail?
Oh,
Ashmanila?
Yeah. I say Ashmanila.
Ashmanila. Okay. I just wrote in all caps, pardon? So I do apologize if that's someone's name, but that one was long.
That's a big name.
It's a lot of syllables.
Yeah.
Bayanin is investigating at seeker levels of insight.
It's great.
Because she goes, well, it must somehow connect to, they're both Blue Aja, so it must somehow connect to Moraine and Rand al'Thor. And I go, only I could make a logic leap that big.
Well, here's the thing. She's wrong. So,
I mean, she's not technically wrong because, I mean, everything has to do with Rand in some way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, Halima is there to fuck with Rand, but then she also dismisses the idea of maybe trying to get an Ashaman to figure out which man is channeling. And I went, well, that would be the fastest way to...
that would be the best thing to do. Call him up and say, hey, let's work together.
Yeah.
But, we're not going to do it. We'll see. Maybe we will.
Okay, but getting a... Oh, and then I said this. Okay, but getting a man who could channel to figure this out would kind of solve the problem.
It would.
And then I wrote, ghost.
Ghost?
Ghost.
We can't do this every time.
Ghost. Ghost. Okay.
All right.
I'm done.
Okay.
It just delights me.
Chapter 2, The Dark One's Touch.
Wait, I'm not done.
You said I'm done.
Okay, y'all wanted my notes. You told me that you liked the notes.
No, please continue. You just said I'm done, so I assumed you were done.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
All right,
kidding.
go on.
Oh, are we at Assassination Station? I'm all aboard. Because...
did you think Bannon was
I did, because the warder suggested it. The warder said, I'll stab her in the heart. It'll be easier that way. She doesn't know every warder. It'll be great. I'll get in and out.
Well, actually, we're going to go with be a double agent o'clock.
Okay.
Actually, this wouldn't even be a double agent, because technically this is just her being a spy.
It's true.
Yeah, this is just an agent.
Yes, I had somebody correct the fact
It was
that
my mother.
I wasn't going to say.
It's okay.
I love your mom.
Yeah, she's great.
But she goes, well, technically, Allie, that would be a double agent. But I go, no, because she is an Aes Sedai. That's the agent.
No.
Yes.
Aes Sedai are not spies.
But lots of things have agents, Gus.
Yeah, but that's
the FBI.
The purpose of double agent is that you are embedded in an organization that is already doing espionage. That's a double agent.
No, but an agent can be just someone who's an agent working somewhere. So she's an agent of the tower.
But then every spy would be a double agent.
Fine.
I like the word. I like triple agent more. But if you're right about Shiriam, she would be a double agent.
Okay, wait. So Shiriam is an agent of the tower.
Look, okay, so your way is more fun.
Spying on the Aes Sedai.
This is pure pedantry.
So she's an agent of the Black Aja. She's a spy. And then it's on behalf of so she's a double agent.
Triple agent would be if Shiriam were already Black Aja, and then Swan asked her to join the Black Aja.
Wait, no. If she was already if she was a dark friend before.
If she was a dark friend who joined the tower.
And
then Swan sent her to spy on the Black Aja.
She befriends Swan. Then Swan goes, you were a dark friend before. Now I need you to turn on us again. Pretend like you never turned. That would be triple agent?
No, and then she, betrayed Swan again and went back to her original leaning. That would be a triple agent, I think. I think, honestly, you'd need, there would have to be a third organization in the mix, and she would have to be actually spying for that third organization on both of the other two. I think that would be a triple agent, because then she's an agent for 3 different organizations.
But I like saying triple
we can
agent.
throw all of this reality bullshit out the window and continue calling her a triple agent. I'm fine with that.
Please?
Yes. Okay, so if she is a triple agent.
She's a triple agent. Oh, I'm not done.
All right.
Hey, Matten Stepanios is alive.
Yeah, he's just here.
It corrected it to Martin, and I'm like, that's
Stepanios.
not his name. Matten Stepanios is alive.
Martin Talonvor's name is Martin.
That's right. I forgot his name is Martin.
Martin Talonvor.
Oh my God. Where have you been, man?
He was here the whole time.
Just when I'm thinking, hey, maybe Egwene is right in not wanting to fight. We shouldn't take the potential loss of life lightly. And if there's a way around that, we should do it. Elida insists they drag scared men from their homes. Man, fuck her and fuck her up.
She sucks.
Fuck her. The dog loves the word fuck. He just went, whoa, who are we fucking up? Bannon's the most obvious mole in the world.
It's so funny, man.
My God. Okay, Halima, you can have this one with Bannon.
Killer. Ugh.
Yeah, she's
because Halima just sneaks around and kills random people who might blow her cover, and that's all she fucking does.
Possibly know Carbonara.
It's so funny to me. It's so funny.
What's her name, actually? Gabriana
Macandis.
Yeah. Or I go irrelevant. And what? Anyway. And I feel like the time to kill them was
Immediately? You'd think.
Not 3 books later.
I feel like, isn't it like 5 books later?
I don't even know. I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, that was book 6. It was 5 books later.
Goodness. Oh no. Now Elida knows about Egwene's dreaming. I was genuinely distraught about this.
And then
I
she
went,
goes,
wait.
that sounds like bullshit to me, man.
Well, then I went, wait, first thing Egwene said when she entered the tower again was, I'm a dreamer.
Yeah.
So, and then I said, but she can't really do anything about it, can she?
No.
Not really. She doesn't have a dream ring or anything like that. So, no. So I guess it's not a problem?
I guess it's fine.
Oh my God. They're still questioning if she's a dreamer.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta love it.
I'm done. You gotta be kidding me. How much more evidence do you need? Why would she lie?
Why not?
In fact, it was kind of dumb of her to tell them that she's a dreamer, considering now they know how she's getting messages out.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They can't really stop that unless they drug her every night.
I need them to stop questioning my girl's abilities. She should just get dreamer tattooed on her forehead. Okay, now I get why Elida kept Egwene alive. So I got it. So Elida is saying that they don't need to worry about the Ch1-2 unless they learn to travel, but I did say this just now, but didn't a group of them see traveling happen? Okay, no. I know.
Yeah, they did.
I was wrong.
But I understand your concern.
Regardless, they're going to learn to travel, and we need to have that music from the thing that's not a thing that we can talk about.
Well, you mean the music from this library of music that you can license?
I feel like, okay, wait, no. Here's how it's going to go, though. Elida goes, well, they're not going to be a problem until they can figure out a way to get here. The Ch1-2 figure out how to get there. Fuck, now Elida knows traveling.
Yes, that's
God
that's
damn
out
it,
of the bag,
Bannon. God, absolute damn it. Oh, good. This is going to make Elida turn against her own Black Aja hunters.
Yeah, it seems like the rational conclusion.
Yeah, she said, these are the 10 women in the tower that are basically moles for the other side.
Yeah.
That are giving out the red Aja and Logain lie. And she goes, well, shit, figure out who's hanging out with them.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, the Black Aja hunters are hanging out with them because they have figured out that they're moles,
and they're using them
and they're using them. So now Elida's going to become suspicious of her own Black Aja hunters.
Well, yeah.
Because Elida is allergic to advancing the plot.
Chapter 2.
Wait,
oh my God,
one.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm starting to worry Tarna is Black Aja. And that's it.
Chapter 2, The Dark One's Touch. Bayanin. Maybe the first Bayanin chap we've ever had. Bayanin woke at first light, as was her habit, though little of the dawn trickled into her tent past the closed door flap. I don't have a ton to say that we haven't already discussed. I feel like we kind of discussed this chapter pretty thoroughly, so I'll move fairly quickly through this. Evan comes in with her breakfast. Her breakfast is crusty bread that has weevils in it.
Yum.
And she keeps on accidentally eating weevils and is trying not to think about it too hard.
It's protein.
And the tea's a little fucked up. I like how they always think of Rand as young Althor.
Because he is young little
Althor.
Baby. He's a little baby. We need to protect the baby. But also, he needs to stop getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
It's both.
It's both.
I contain multitudes. All the characters make me angry, and I love them, and I will passionately defend them, but I also want to flick them in the face, like, stop it.
Her warder's outside. Tervail is out there chilling out, being attentive. She's been thinking about trying to find the killer, who is just Halima, but she didn't know that. There's cats all over the place. That sounds fun.
Oh, it makes me so excited that the Aes Sedai essentially just have the universal cat distribution system
I know, big time.
on lockdown.
And I don't know if you remember this, but there's dogs all over the Black Tower.
My dream. My dream is to have both of those things happen.
She thinks about the negotiations. I'm kind of zipping through this a little bit. Do you have anything to really add about this beginning Bayanin part? She hangs out with Ashmanila, Fedrin, not pseudoephedrine, Fedrin.
He was just looking through that medicine cabinet. Like, I know there's a name in here somewhere I can borrow. It also looks like Phaedra to me.
It does look like Phaedra.
What was the question?
Anything to add to this whole meeting with...
she just has a meeting and she's like, we need to figure out why the women are being killed. I think it has to have something to do with, them being Blue Aja and Moraine being Blue Aja and her connection to Rand al'Thor. And I go, kind of, but no, it's really just has to do with the who knew Carbonara.
Yeah.
Which technically, wouldn't that be all of you, kind of?
A little bit, but like some were closer than others.
Yeah, and I guess Halima felt like they were getting on to the scent that Cabriana Macondi's might be dead, but she said that she thinks Cabriana Macondi's might be dead.
Why would an Ashaman come here twice and each time kill one sister? That sounds as though the killer wanted those two and no others. Ashman Isla shook her head. How could he know when Anaya and Chiron would be alone? You cannot think he is lurking about, disguised as a workman. From all I hear, these Ashaman are far too arrogant for that. To me, it seems more likely we have an actual workman who can channel and bears a grudge of some sort. She's like, That's dumb. No, this is fucking stupid. That's so fucking stupid.
I just feel like we would know that was happening. Well, here's the thing about Halima. She's an idiot because if I were her and I wanted to, be sneaky and nefarious and apparently accomplish very little because other than, headaches, I would not kill people because that is the most obvious there's something wrong in this camp thing you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Especially to kill them in such a obvious way.
It's so extra, man. Halima / Balthamel is just the most extra Forsaken, and that's saying something.
If you want to be hidden, if you want to be secret, killing someone by ripping them apart is the stupidest thing you could do. I'm just going to put that out there.
No. She killed them with the power.
Yeah, but brutally.
No, I don't think so.
Uh-huh. In a way where they were only Saidar could have done this, or Saidin could have done this.
Because there was no mark left on the body, but also no residue.
Well, yeah. Okay, well, regardless. Did it so obviously, just poison them.
Yeah.
Then it could be anybody. But regardless, it made it very obvious that it was some man that could channel somehow, right? And it made it obvious that something's up. And now they're looking for connections between the two murders. Eventually, it's going to triangulate back to you, right? I think.
It would make sense, yeah.
It's not that big of a camp, is it? How many people are there?
They were killed by
channel.
suffocation with an airweave of Saidin.
Okay, yeah. I feel like there were ways to make it look more like an accident or age or whatever.
Listen, it could be worse. It could be Leandrin's blueberries of death.
Oh, yeah. No, Leandrin is an idiot.
Veruca salting. No. Veruca Salt isn't the right character, is it?
Violet Beauregard.
Violet Beauregarding of God damn it. Alwyn. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I just think that it was the worst idea because then it all of a sudden makes it so that everyone might be suspicious of you. Yeah, I feel like she should have just gone and said, I'm going to either disappear them, make them look like they left or were turncoats or something, right? Doesn't that seem like a better plan?
That would be a better idea, yeah. Well, that's kind of what she does with the maids, because she also murders both of Egwene's maids.
Which I don't understand why they matter, but I guess getting closer to Egwene, but that just seems suspicious that both of them left with no notice.
Isn't Egwene they must be off hoeing it up? Do I misremember?
Yes, and that really, don't slut shame the dead, Egwene.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I just think that she could have done it in a much subtler way so that nobody was on to her, but who am I? I'm surely there's a way to magically dispose of a body.
So she has this meeting, and then she goes to the traveling ground, and she travels to Tarvalin, and Travail, her warder, charges through ahead of her, and he's like, whoa, what are we doing here? Are you gonna do something shady as shit? And she's like, no, don't sweat it. It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be totally good. Don't worry about it. And then she sees a ghost. And then we talk about ghosts for a second. And then she's like, anyway, I'm gonna go hang out with Elida. And he's like, whoa. You want me to take care of her? I'll take care of her. I'll get her. You know what? I see you want to resolve this shit. I'll just get her right in the fucking heart.
He's team forward the plot.
And she's like, this is only book 11. ostensibly the next book is the last book, but like, what if it weren't?
My prediction for this book is that Elida gets dethroned. I think it's time.
And she's like, all right, Tervile, I'll take care of it. You just hang out, find a room, chill out. All that mattered was that she reach Elida. Only that.
Okay, Seanchan attacked this book, and Elaine becomes queen this book.
Do we get File back this book?
Yes, those 3 plots get wrapped up this book.
Well, that's the end of the Bannon section. We join Elida. She's having a terrible fucking time. Matin Stepanios is in there yelling, "Did be bound and gagged for most of the voyage, confined day and night to a cabin better called a cupboard. For that I demand the captain of that vessel be punished, Elida. More, I do demand an apology from you and from the White Tower. Fortune stab me, the Amyrl-In seat does not have the right to kidnap kings any longer. The White Tower does not have that right. I do demand..." She's like, he's been saying this for like 10 minutes. I tuned him out a while ago.
Yeah, he barely breathes through this whole monologue.
How's he?
He's pissed. He's been here
pissed.
this whole time.
Yeah, because he like went missing in book 7, and he's just been here, I guess.
Yeah,
or in a boat on his way here for several books.
Not pleased.
Because really, it's only been like a month since book 7, I think, maybe 2.
He's not pleased with the accommodations, and he is not shy about letting them know.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, hey, man," and she does this really good doublespeak where she goes, "You should be grateful to the Tower, Matin Stepanios, and to me. Randall Thor took Ilion only days after you departed the city. He took the laurel crown as well. The crown of swords, he named it. Can you believe he would have faltered in cutting off your head to take it? I knew you would not leave voluntarily. I saved your life." She's like, there we go. I implied that Rand was going to kill him, but I didn't say it. Mm-hmm. But I let him think it.
Right.
And he goes, "I'm no a toothless old hound yet, mother. I did face death defending Ilion many times."
He doesn't buy it.
"You believe I fear dying so much I would rather be your guest for the rest of my life?" And then the hubris clock chimes.
Oh, wow. That's going to be the last thing that happens before the Seanchan attack. She's going to think something ironic, and that the hubris clock's going to chime, right? And then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. It'll be like, and with the chime of a clock, the first explosion came. And then 6 chapters later, we're going to find out what happened. And it's that the Seanchan come.
A dead man can reclaim nothing.
Lights up. It's after the battle. No, they're going to give it to us.
Well, we do skip the meeting with Egwene.
No way.
Didn't we skip it? Because it's the next day now.
No fucking way, Robert. Robert.
I mean, unless that comes later, but it seems as though we've skipped the meeting with Egwene.
I'm hoping if Egwene knows what's good for her, she told them to prepare for a Seanchan attack.
That would make sense.
Especially now that the thing is down.
It's up.
Oh, right.
The chain is locked up.
Well, thank God for them. Then at least the boats can't come in, right?
Yeah, well, how are they going to get boats there?
I don't know.
They'd have to go all the way around the continent and then up a river.
I'm not looking at the map. I don't know how close they are.
Really fucking far away.
Well, okay. Then that's good news.
Tarvalin's over here. The Seanchan are like here. They'd have to come all the way up this river.
They've still got Racken.
They do. Yeah, they have an air force, which is not to be maligned.
Oh, and they did say they were going to take that air force and bring them that were in Ilion and bring them somewhere else.
Yeah, Rodell. They're going to take most of the air force that was in Amadicia and commit it to fighting Rodell.
Which is where? That's up near Tarvalin, isn't it?
No, not even remotely close.
Well, all right.
Up over here.
Well, where's Tarvalin?
Eredamont. Tarvalin's way the fuck over here.
Oh.
In the east.
Well, I don't know.
But I understand your confusion.
Well, let me tell you the two that will definitely be solved this book is Elaine, Succession Crisis, and Fail is going to come back. At least those two will be solved this book. Mark my words.
So.
Mark me.
She goes, she's like, "Hey man, we can get your city back eventually." And he goes, "And how would you manage that, mother? How would you arrange that, mother? I understand the city to be held by a shaman." He fumbled the cursed name slightly. "And Aiel, who follow the dragon reborn." So anyway, they have this whole conversation. How's this go?
She just goes, "All right, dude, I told you that I'd help you."
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll talk about it later, and kind of ushers him out. And then Tarna comes in. She's like, "What's up?"
"I've got a list of shit to talk to you about. First of all, people are refusing to leave their houses because ghosts.
Yes.
And the streets are disgusting.
Streets are filthy. And Elida is like, God damn it, the number one most important thing after the chains, because they talk about the chains first.
Oh, yeah.
The number one most important thing for us to discuss is the state of sanitation in the city. And admittedly,
that is important.
That is true for a siege.
Sanitation is so important. But apparently people are afraid to leave their homes because...
Ghosts.
Okay. So ghosts, and then Elida goes, drag them from their homes if you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, she goes, why didn't you make that the first problem we talked about?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And so all of the empathy that I was trying to muster for Elida vanished in that moment. And I went, you are a monster. How about, like, any other solution than drag them from their homes, you absolute asshole.
And she's also like, we got to figure out the sewers as well. We got to figure out a lot of sanitation related shit. Big deal. Also, there's rats in the tower. I want to start stabbing people.
Can't we magic disappear it?
No.
We can't magic disappear the poop?
No. How? How would you do that?
I don't know.
No, not really. No. I don't think
Earth?
So. No, I don't think so. No.
Spirit?
Not that I know. No, not really. But
Water?
maybe they could gateway it away. But like now, gateway the shit directly into Dragonmount. It's a volcano, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a neat solution.
Although I don't know what would happen if you opened up a gateway mouth in a volcano. That seems like it would be
You know what I'm picturing?
bad. What?
Like, have you ever had to shit in a hole in the ground?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I've camped. I was a scout.
or-
I've had to bury things before.
No, like at a public restroom, but it's basically a hole in the ground.
Also that, yeah.
I have had to do that. And you always kind of worry the whole time that you're going to fall in.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Fall into a volcano?
what if...
You don't want that, man.
What if that's they just open a bunch of like public restrooms and it's just like a hole into a volcano and it's like, don't fall.
That'd be very bad.
They're squatting bare ass over a volcano.
And she thinks about sewers and she's like, we got to fix the sewers. And she has a note about sewers and she just writes, I want these cleared by tomorrow, and signs her name on it. And then she's like, there's rats in the tower. What
Helpful.
the fuck? Fix the wards. This is bullshit.
And she's like, I don't care how difficult it is. Do it. Get it done.
And then Animara the Accepted comes in and is like, hey, there's some random woman here to see you. And Tarna's like, the dog is snoring. Tarna's like, fuck that. Tell her to wait. And Elida's like, actually, no. You know what? I haven't had, a random petition in a long time, and I want to do this now. So let's just talk to the common people.
Please.
And she comes in, and it's actually Bayanin, and Tarna's like, what the fuck? And she shields her. And Bayanin's like, hey, it's me. I'm a spy. And Tarna's like, well, I didn't know about that. And yeah, as you said,
She's
just
such
kind
an
of...
effective mole, they didn't even know she was a mole.
Well, Tarna didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I guess Tarna didn't know. But Bayanin goes, here are the 10 Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And
Also, Egwene's a dreamer.
Egwene's a dreamer.
Yeah.
We know she's alive and that she's fine. Second, here's how you travel. Isn't that fun? And third, there are 10 women in the tower right now who are moles trying to like get out bad information about you all and slandering Elida and stuff and causing all of this tension in the tower. So there they are. These are their names. And Elida recognizes one of them. And so she's like, we need to figure out who's hanging out with them because they're probably co-conspirators. And I was like, oh, great. The one effective thing that you started, you're going to turn against because you're an idiot.
She does some gateway shit. Shows her how gateways work. I read in Encyclopedia Watt, I read that apparently in the first printing of this, skimming and traveling were reversed. And then Robert Jordan was like, ugh, and he fixed it for later printings. Because in the first printing, it was like skimming you can do from a place you know well.
Oops.
Which is a funny typo.
I would make that same error.
Oh, yeah, me too. There's a bajillion rules in here.
And there's so many books and there's so many words. I would make that same error right now.
Elida's like, awesome. Don't tell anybody any of this. She's like, why? And she's like, because shit fucking sucks in here, and I think a lot of people don't like me very much. But you can tell Tarna. Fucking Tarna's great. Tell Tarna whatever you want. I don't give a shit.
That makes me worried because I don't trust Elida's judgment at all. So far, it has been 0 for 0.
And they're going to have them watched, and you think this is going to lead to the Black Odge Brigade getting double-crossed and arrested?
Yes.
And then Elida sends Tarna out, and she's like, all right, teach me all the shit you know. And that's the end of chapter 2.
And then their thing that they're going to assume is that Elida must be Black Aja then.
That would be a rational conclusion. That would be a sensible way for this plot to proceed.
Which is incorrect.
And we shall see if it does so. Hey, that was all of that.
No, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much for listening. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. It's linked down below. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. And you can always leave us a rating and a review, which helps a lot. Other than that, anything else, Allie?
She's baying in trouble with me.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.